The woman did not hide, did not go around the corner. I want to kill you. I want to pull you down. Tell me what to do. And so they continued like that until it got to a place. The Bible tells us in verse 16, and it came to pass when she pestered him daily with her words and pressed him so that his soul was vexed to death. Daily. Pestered him daily. That's Judges 16:16. And it came to pass when she pestered him daily with her words and pressed him so that his soul was vexed to death. Just with her words. Just with her words. Every day. Pestering Samson. The one who was strong. The one who could kill an army with just an axe bone. The one who could tear the lion and lick honey from its carcass. Every day Delilah was with him, pestering him until his soul was vexed to death. And then verse 17 says that he told her all his heart and said to her, no razor has ever come upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite to God from my mother's womb. If I am shaven, then my strength will leave me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. You and I know that at this point, Delilah did not verify what Samson told her. She went ahead to call the Philistine lords, and they shaved the hair of Samson. They destroyed the Nazarite rite that was started from the womb. They pulled down a mighty man of God. They gouged out his eyes and made him to grind for them. Persistence conquers resistance. So that when we are doing things thinking that it is just a little bit here and a little bit here, one thing in cause up, let us remember that the destruction comes suddenly. Let us remember that the enemy is not playing pranks. Let us remember that the enemy wants what he's asking for. How do I pull you down? Why are you messing around with your enemy? And what makes you think that you are too strong than that enemy? Do we remember that in the book of 2 Corinthians 4:7, the Bible says that the treasures that we have are still in the earthen vessel? We need to be careful. You are so anointed, you are so great, nothing can pull you down. That's a lie. There are lots of things that can pull you down, and that is why wise men are careful. Wise men are careful, especially with women. It doesn't have to be an agent of darkness. It doesn't have to be a demon in a woman form. Be careful with what you play with what you look down on, because persistence will conquer any resistance eventually. The judge in the book of Luke chapter 18, the parable that Jesus told us about the judge and the widow, that judge was wise, because we just quickly read what he said, and then I'll take a little excerpt from what Robert Seymour said in his book Maximize Your Potential, and then we'll round off. So Luke chapter 18, Jesus told a parable about the judge who did not fear God, neither was he afraid of any man. But there was a widow that was always coming to him to plead, to say, please avenge my adversaries. And verse 4 says, and he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I do not fear God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her, Lest by her continual coming she wearies me. Lest by her continual coming she wearies me. But Samson was on the laps of Delilah every day. Even when Delilah was pestering him, tell me how to kill you, Samson was there. I wonder what it was that Samson was enjoying with Delilah. For somebody who is bent on killing you, persistence conquers resistance. We need to be wise like this judge. He said within himself, it's not because, Samson could have said, it's not because I'm afraid of Delilah, but I know if I continue like this with this woman, she's going to weary me. It's not an easy thing to be a Nazarite. And for him, it was from the womb. We know the story of how the angel of the Lord came to his father, his mother and his father, and told them about the birth of Samson. And all those trainings, all those investments of the Spirit of God upon the life of Samson. He thought that he could toy with his enemy and get free. Nobody carries coals onto his bosoms and not be burnt. You cannot carry coals or fire onto yourself and expect not to get burnt. Let us desist from playing with the enemy. You are still flesh and blood, and you can go down. The wisdom here is fear God. Wisdom is fear God and keep his commandments. And that's the wisdom that the judge in Luke 18 used. Lest by her continual coming she weary me. Little drops of water on the forehead of a prisoner. I read somewhere, I think somewhere in this book or some other books, little drops of water on the forehead of a prisoner makes them go crazy. Tiny things, little foxes that we think are insignificant can pull us down if they persist. So I'm just going to round off now with a little bit of what Robert Seymour had to say in this book. 12, the last paragraph, he said, as I've already said, it doesn't matter what it is that you try to do. If you just work at it hard enough and long enough, you will eventually succeed. Provided, of course, you have some talent for it, whatever it may be. And then he said, the American poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow put it far more eloquently when he wrote, perseverance is a great element of success. If you only knock long enough and loud enough at the gate, you are sure to wake somebody up. You are sure to wake up somebody. If you knock long enough and loud enough at the gate, somebody will wake up. Persistence conquers resistance. And on page 11 here, I'll just quickly read. Let me put it this way. Persistence always conquers resistance eventually. Persistence always conquers resistance eventually. Is it a habit that you're trying to build, a virtue, something good that you're trying to build? The message is persist in that thing. You will overcome eventually. Is it a bad habit that you want to break? Persist in breaking and avoiding that habit, and eventually you will overcome. The story of Samson is not an encouraging one. Even though eventually he repented, the story didn't go as I suppose would have gone if he had resisted the persistence of Delilah in the first place. So as we're still in this world, as we're still walking towards our destination, let us be mindful of the things, the distractions that are around us. Always trying to look the wrong direction might break your resistance. Always trying to do the wrong thing might break your resistance. Persistence conquers resistance eventually. I am so happy to have you today on Gospel Banquet. Please subscribe to this channel, like the video. Click on the bell icon so that anytime I upload, you get a notification. Comment and share. As you comment, I read your comment and get edified as well. So it is not just a one-way thing, it is a two-way thing, because like I said, iron sharpens iron. I want to be encouraged by you. I want to be edified. I want to learn. I want to understand. There's so many things that I yet don't understand. I want to be lifted as well. I want to be strengthened so that we can continue on this our journey and get to the end. God bless you really good. I hope to come your way again soon by God's grace. Bye.